Welcome to the Thrive Show. My name is Kim O'Neill, and today I have with me here Meridith Elliott Powell. Meridith is a sales and leadership expert who's worked her way up from an entry-level position to earn her seat at the C-suite table. She is passionate about helping business owners learn the strategies they need to succeed no matter what the marketplace does. Welcome, Meridith.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to being here.
Absolutely. So we're going to get right into it. And Meridith, I want to first ask you, what are some of the common thoughts or reactions that a business owner might have when uncertainty enters the picture?
Yeah, that's such an interesting question because I've done a lot of research around uncertainty. And the truth is we don't like the word. In fact, the research shows that we would rather know that something bad is going to happen than have to live in an uncertain environment. So I kind of sum it up to say uncertainty is something, that little thing that nags at the back of us and we worry about it constantly.
Yeah. Yes, makes total sense, right? Who really likes change that's unexpected? Yeah.
And uncertainty to me is change on steroids. I mean, it is change that we don't know what's going to happen, when it's going to happen, or what it's going to be. I mean, how the heck are you supposed to grow a business in an environment like that?
Right. Well, so that leads me to the next question is, what does it take to grow a business in an uncertain marketplace?
Yeah, it's there's really quite a few steps that you need to really grow a business in an uncertain marketplace. But just a couple that I think really will resonate with people and really help is one of my favorite terms comes from the military, and it's called embrace the suck. And sorry for the language, but it shows that people who really thrive in an uncertain marketplace are those that are not optimists. They don't see the glass half full, but they're not pessimists. They don't see the glass half empty. They embrace the suck. They embrace the fact that it is unknown, that this is where we are, this is our reality, this is how it is. And if you can accept that, then you can start to see your path forward. You're not wishing things were better than they were, and you're not sort of giving up, really giving up hope. So if you can begin by embracing the suck, you'll start to get this positive point, this vision of how you can get through the uncertainty and really emerge successful from it.
I love that. And the language is great because that's a space where, that's like one of those things you don't really have words for sometimes.
Yeah, exactly.
So what would you say is something that really supports someone in being able to get to that new space of, okay, I'm going to embrace the suck?
Yeah. An exercise that I give all of my clients to do is that is this idea that what you focus on expands. So I think one of the most important things we can do first is to brain dump. Just brain dump all the things that we're worried about, excited about, or think as it relates to uncertainty. I mean, I don't know what new government regulations are going to do. I don't know if gas prices are going to go up. What if my customers decide to go across the street to the competition? Everything that you're worried about, just dump it out. And then separate it into two piles. What can you control and what can't you control? And then what's coming next, because success is not logical at all. It doesn't, like anybody who's built a successful business doesn't look back and go, okay, I knew that was going to happen. I mean, it seems like a fluke, but success comes from focusing on what you can control and just forgetting about the rest. We only have so much time, energy, and resources. And when you spend time and energy and resources burning on things that you have no control over, like a government regulation or what your competition is going to do, if you can rechannel that energy into what you can control, somehow you get through the obstacles and you find the opportunity. It sounds so simple, but it's not easy, and it's really powerful.
Well, and I imagine for an organizational leader, it really helps them to have someone else helping guide them through something like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that, I was just on earlier today with my coach, kind of getting my head wrapped around the things that I need to have my head wrapped around. But I definitely think if you can have a peer, a colleague, a coach, or an expert, somebody that helps you get out of your own way, I think is incredibly important. I think it's an investment well spent.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So after they've taken steps, and I know there are many more, you've really just touched on a couple. I totally see that. But after they've taken steps to moving through uncertainty, what does thriving look like?
Yeah. Thriving to me means, if I could sum it up, it means that you see change coming
Okay.
and you're predicting your future by creating it. You know, it's funny when we think about change, what we think about is the fact that most of us think about being really good at reacting to it. You know, like this happened in
Ooh.
my life and I was resilient enough to bounce back. That's not good enough to thrive in uncertainty. You have to be a step ahead of change. And that means that you take the time to really think about the changes that you see coming in the marketplace. And when you can begin to predict the changes that are coming, that's where you get real competitive advantage. And that's where you really start to thrive.
The word contingency plan is coming up here. Do you see that playing a role in supporting someone in thriving?
Yeah, I call it shed fast and keep moving. I think that what you have to do is both plan for change, is to really, we are living in times that the majority of the changes happening to your organization, they're outside of your organization. I mean, it's just a global world and there's so much happening. So as leaders and business owners, we have to be paying attention externally to our companies. So, that's where the contingency plan comes in, right? Like, what if there was a hurricane, or what if, somebody else won an election and things changed for me, but at the same time, you have to be reflective on your business. You have to, I think, on a monthly basis, ask yourself what's really working, what isn't working, what do we need to get rid of, and what do we need that we don't have? Because again, you may have had an amazing first quarter to the year, but by the second quarter, so many things have changed that even though you're doing the same stuff, it's just not working anymore. And so you have to have that peace of mind to be looking at what's coming, but also get your ego out of the way to assess what you're doing and say, I've got to let go of that idea, even though it was mine. It's just not relevant anymore given the circumstances that are changing.
You've already started to touch on this next piece, but maybe we can take it a little deeper. You believe that people can condition themselves for change.
Absolutely.
Will you share just additional thoughts on that conditioning piece, and how can people start to condition themselves right now in this moment?
Yeah. I think that change is like a muscle. And the more we work it, the more we think about it, the more we talk about it, the more conditioned we become at change. I mean, change is one of the biggest things that we've got to deal with as business owners, as leaders. It's just people in life, right?
Yeah.
And the problem with change is that we don't like it because we do everything we can to avoid it. But if you can really start to condition yourself, and I give my clients a tool, it's a tool called a skeptic. And it's just a series of words: society, competition, economics, politics, technology, industry, and customers. And if you could just take 30 minutes on a monthly basis and just talk about, get your team together, get your peers together, and just talk about the changes that you see happening outside of your business. The more that you talk about it, the more comfortable you'll get with it. And the more comfortable you'll get with it, the easier change will be. I mean, anything that we get used to being there all the time, it just gets easier. You just get really, really comfortable with it. I remember years ago, I bought a house across the street from a railroad track, so close that my whole house shook, whenever a train went by. For the first month, it was awful. And then 6 months into it, people would come over and I'd be like, what train? Because I was used to it. We got to do the same thing with change.
I love that. The words that helped formulate skeptic that you put together, those sound like things people can write down right now and go back to their team and start to discuss. Will you share just what skeptic stood for again?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's society, competition, economics, politics, technology, industry, and customers. And if you just write them down in a vertical line, it's me playing a little bit of license with the acronym Skeptic. But I just have people brainstorm. Just brainstorm. There's not a right or a wrong. Just throw it all against the wall. And when you write it all down, then step back and look at it and ask yourselves, is there anything that we need to pay attention to? Because if you see change coming, it's your greatest opportunity. If you ignore it, it's a threat. In fact, it'll bury you.
Right.
But by doing that on a monthly basis, not only do you get good at change, but everybody around you gets comfortable with change.
That is so good. That just brings it right back to that muscle. And like any muscle, you have to start and be flexible and stretch and build it up. And awesome. I love it. Well, Meridith, thank you so much for being here and sharing your expertise and wisdom with us today. This has been very empowering, I would say, for organizations.
Thank you. I hope so, because I do want people to see that even in an uncertain and a highly shifting marketplace, there is so much opportunity inside of it. So thanks for your time today.
Absolutely. And thank you to our audience. We hope that you found value in today's conversation.